my God, guys. I am literally shaking right now after processing what is happening in the aftermath of this liver transplant surgery. We all knew it was going to be dangerous. We all knew the risks, but seeing it actually play out is absolutely devastating. Kat is fighting for her life, and the entire family is finally realizing the horrific weight of what they forced her to do. I am so incredibly frustrated, heartbroken, and angry all at the same time. Is anyone else with me on this? I feel like I need to scream into a pillow because the level of guilt and agony radiating through the hospital corridors is just too much to handle. Let us start with Nicole. Oh, Nicole. She is sitting there, literally glued to Kat's hospital bed, refusing to leave her side for even a single second. Can you picture the sheer, agonizing terror in a mother's eyes? She is gripping Kat's freezing, lifeless hand, and her own tears are just soaking the hospital blankets. And then the monitors, the heart monitors start going absolutely crazy. Kat's heart rate is showing severe signs of instability right after this horrific, grueling surgery. I am literally screaming at my screen, guys. Kat is slipping away, and Nicole is completely breaking down. She is sobbing uncontrollably, blaming herself, and honestly, she should be blaming herself. I am so sorry. I love Nicole, but she is the one who pushed Kat into this. She was the one who practically begged her daughter to take the test. But here's where the psychology gets so incredibly messy and dramatic. Nicole is absolutely terrified that if Kat doesn't wake up, she will never forgive Ted. She is threatening to cut off anyone and everyone who participated in convincing Kat to go under the knife. But wait a minute. Nicole, you were one of those people. She is projecting so hard right now because the guilt is eating her alive. She is realizing that her pure, unconditional love for Kat was completely blinded by this toxic, suffocating sense of blind moral responsibility. They all thought they were doing the right thing by saving Ava, but they sacrificed Kat on the altar of family duty. And now, Nicole is staring at the very real possibility that she might lose everything. Her daughter, her relationship with Ted, her own sanity. It is just too tragic. And speaking of people who need to take a long, hard look in the mirror, let's talk about Martin. I am so furious with him, but at the same time, the poetic justice of his current misery is chef's kiss. Martin actually gets the phone call. The call he has been sweating over for months. He won his congressional primary election. He is officially the political golden boy, but it tastes like absolute ash in his mouth. He is standing in that suffocating, sterile hospital hallway, listening to people congratulate him on the phone, and he just looks completely dead inside. And he should be. He looks down the hall and sees Nicole and Ted completely collapsing outside of Kat's room, and it hits him like a ton of bricks. His political career is literally soaring on the back of his family's ultimate pain and destruction. He prioritized his political optics over the love and safety of his own sister. You wanted to play the hero for the cameras, for the voters, but behind closed doors, he was a monster to Kat. Martin is suddenly questioning his entire existence and his ability to be a leader. How can he lead a district? How can he lead a community when he could not even protect his own family? When he was the one actively participating in destroying his sister? I am so glad he is feeling this guilt. It is exactly what he deserves for how he acted. The scene with Martin sitting by Eva's hospital bed is going to haunt my nightmares. He looks so incredibly haggard, like all the joy and life has been completely sucked out of his body. He grabs Eva's hand and he just starts choking on his own tears, confessing everything. He admits to Eva just how horribly he treated Kat before she went into that operating room. Do you guys remember when he called her Princess Kat? That moment enraged me. He sarcastically mocked her. He bullied her. He applied this crushing, unbearable pressure on her when she was already terrified. Martin is sitting there sobbing, calling himself a complete hypocrite. He played the righteous political hero while simultaneously being his sister's biggest bully. And the worst part for Martin, the absolute most agonizing part, he is utterly terrified that Kat is going to die before he ever gets the chance to give her a sincere apology. He is drowning in the realization that his last words to her, his last interactions with her, were filled with venom and pressure. If Kat does not wake up, Martin will carry that guilt to his grave. And honestly, part of me wants him to sweat. He needs to feel every single ounce of this remorse because the way they all ganged up on Kat was unforgivable. But wait, guys, because it gets even more intense. Let's talk about Eva. Eva wakes up from the surgery. Now, normally in a soap opera, this is the moment of triumph, right? The music swells, the patient opens her eyes, and everyone cries tears of joy because she got a second chance at life. But no, this is beyond the gates, and we do not get happy endings that easily. Instead of relief, Ava is consumed by a suffocating, paralyzing horror when Eva hears the news. When she finds out that Kat is literally fighting for her life, that Kat's heart is failing because of the complications from saving her, Eva goes into a full-blown panic attack. She looks at Martin, and she is hyperventilating, sobbing, and she tells him that she regrets accepting the liver from Kat. Yes, she said it. Eva actually realizes the gravity of what has happened. She acknowledges that Kat had already suffered so much trauma and pain because of her in the past. Kat hated her. Kat had every right to walk away. And yet, Eva is lying there, realizing that her entire family was incredibly, unforgivably selfish. Eva calls it out exactly like it is. She realizes that they all forced an unwilling, terrified person into a highly dangerous, life-threatening surgery just to ease their own consciences. Eva feels like an absolute sinner. Can you imagine the psychological weight of that? She is lying in that hospital bed, realizing that every single breath she takes, every beat of her heart, is powered by the organ of a sister who might die because of it. Eva feels like her very existence right now is a massive, unbearable psychological burden. She literally tells Martin that she just wants to give everything back to Kat. She wants to give the liver back. It is so profoundly heartbreaking and dark. I am crying just thinking about the sheer emotional torture Eva is going through right now. Is anyone else absolutely blown away by Eva's reaction? I expected her to be grateful, maybe a little arrogant, but to see her completely shattered by guilt, to see her recognize the family's toxic selfishness, it is incredible character development, but it is so painful to watch. She knows that she is living on borrowed time, on stolen breath, and she cannot handle the guilt of knowing Kat might pay the ultimate price for it. And where does this leave our poor, sweet Kat? The spoilers are driving me absolutely insane. Some reports are hinting that Kat might wake up, but nobody knows when. It is a massive, terrifying question mark hanging over the entire canvas. She is lying there, her hands freezing cold, her heart struggling to beat, and the doctors are just scrambling. The risks after donating a liver are astronomical, and Kat is experiencing the absolute worst case scenario. For everyone who pushed her for Ted, who begged her on the stairs, for Martin who bullied her, for Nicole who guilt-tripped her, for Leslie who screamed at her this waiting game is their ultimate karma. They are all going to be violently tormented for every single second that Kat remains unconscious. Every time that heart monitor beeps irregularly, every time a doctor rushes into that room, they are going to feel a knife twisting in their own guts. They did this to her. They cornered her like an animal until she broke, and now they have to sit in the waiting room and watch her slowly slip away. I am so incredibly stressed out by this storyline. I cannot stop thinking about Nicole's tears, Martin's hollow political victory, and Eva's horrific realization that she is a walking tragedy. Will Kat survive? Will Nicole actually banish Ted from her life if the worst happens? Will Martin resign from his newly won congressional seat because the guilt is too heavy to bear? I need answers. Please, guys, jump into the comments right now and tell me I am not crazy for feeling this emotional. Are you as furious with Martin as I am? Do you feel bad for Eva, or do you think she deserves to carry the psychological burden? And most importantly, do you think Kat is going to pull through? I am praying for a miracle, but in this town, miracles usually come with a devastating price tag. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell because the second we get more updates on Kat's condition, I am going to be right back here screaming with all of you. Stay strong, soap fans. We are going to need each other to get through this week.